Say hello to the Royal Enfield Hunter 350, the latest to come from the stables of Royal Enfield. Now, this is the third bike that gets the J series engine after the Meteor 350 and the Classic 350. But as you can clearly see, it is unlike anything that those two bikes look like. So, welcome to our quick walk around of this all-new Hunter 350. Now, as you can see, this is significantly more compact and it has a sportier look to it over its retro siblings. In terms of design, you get a classic circular headlamp up front with a nice wide handlebar and a nice well-shaped tank flowing into a nice comfortable seat. Now, how this all performs on road is something we will answer in our first ride review, which will drop on the 10th of August, so stay tuned for that. Now, in terms of the engine, you have the same J series engine as found on the Meteor and the Classic, and it has the same outputs and the same internals as well. The only change Royal Enfield is saying they have done is they have made the throttle response ever so slightly sharp to go with the entire sporty attitude of this bike. Speaking of the sporty attitude, the biggest change comes in terms of the chassis setup. You have a new twin down tube frame without the cradle, and that in combination with these 17-inch wheels should ensure a rather sporty ride over its siblings. And the new frame also doesn't have the cradles as the Meteor or the Classic would. This has led to a significant weight savings. This bike here tips the scales at 181 kilos fully fueled, which is over 10 kilos lighter than the Classic, and that should really make for a fun ride. Now, apart from that, you have a newly designed exhaust, you have an updated suspension setup, the braking setup is pretty much identical to the other two bikes, and you also have neat styling for your indicators at the front and the rear. And as always, you also have an entire catalog of GMA accessories with which you can upgrade the design of your bike as you would like. Now, there are two variants to choose from. This here is the higher end Metro variant, and you can spec it with the tripper console and all of that. But you also will have a more affordable retro variant. Now that gets spoked wheels at the front and the rear. It gets slightly skinnier tires. This Metro variant gets a 110 section tire at the front and a 140 section at the rear, while the retro will get a 100 section and a 120 section tire at the rear. Now, there is a lot to talk about this bike, but I can't tell you about it just yet because we are on an embargo. Our first ride review of this bike will drop on the 10th of August, so stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, what do you think of this Hunter 350? Let us know in the comment section down below.